Okay, guys, so the pressure of pregnancy is unmatched. It really is. I'm actually very concerned about this video because part of why the pressure of pregnancy is unmatched is because people are so, all caps, a lot of O's, so opinionated about pregnancy. But also everyone's like, it's your pregnancy, you do what feels best for you, but you have to do it this way. I mean, it is overwhelming. Like, it is overwhelming. And so that's what I want to talk about today. The pressure of pregnancy. So I'm not currently pregnant, but you don't have one of these in your living room unless you actually have been pregnant and have babies. And so I am credible. I actually have been pregnant with twins, two babies at one time. It was really interesting. My husband and I hopefully will talk about. I looked like he's here. He's not here. He's 100% at work. Goodness. So that's so funny. How I sorry, my mind, all over the place. The way that I just sighed, but like how I was like, gosh, Jackie, like at myself. Like my babies sigh like that at themselves. So I gotta probably check that because I don't want them being like that, but it's also kind of cute. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay. The pressure of pregnancy, overwhelming. That's what we're talking about today. Which I'm Jackie, by the way. Hi, if you're new here. Like I said, I had twin baby girls. They're 9 months old. And oh yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you. I was gonna say that whenever we went to the ultrasound, so Brandon and I we'll do like a video about this one together to talk about how we like the whole process of being pregnant, but we, anyway, we were not doing like IVF or anything, but it had taken us a while to get pregnant. And so, we went to, I just start talking to y'all and I don't fold my laundry. I'm gonna fold my laundry. That's what we do here. I hope you're folding laundry or doing some household task. That's the goal of my videos, is for me to be productive and share with you, and for you to have something to listen to and slightly look forward to some chore, because we can hang out while we do this together. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is whenever we went to the ultrasound, you know, we were so excited, couldn't wait, all the things that you feel. And we're laying there, and I love my doctor so much. Love her so much. I'd never met her before this time because we had just moved. But I now love her so much, and I loved her so much then. And here's how little Brandon... Okay, wait, I'm not actually going to share that part because we'll save that for when Brandon and I can talk together. But she said, well, she's like pointing at the screen. Here's your first baby, and here's your second one. And I said, what? Like literally, I bet my eyes like popped out of my head. I know that I panicked because she went into full like, everything's gonna be okay. Are you okay? Do you want a glass of water? Like, you can tell how people, if you're cognizant enough when you're like panicking, something that can like snap you out of it is noticing how people around you are treating you. And I noticed it in Brandon first. I noticed that he'd gotten real like comforting and calm and supportive. Like, he's always supportive, but just like extra like intentionally supportive. And so then I like noticed that my doctor was doing it too. And I was like, yeah, I am definitely panicking a little bit right now because twins. Wow, I'm 5'2" and not very large. Like, where are they gonna fit? Like, my torso is like 2 inches long. Like, not really. That's a little dramatic. But where are they gonna fit? Where are they gonna go? And so I was just really nervous. But anyway, having a twin pregnancy was wild, but I'm not just talking about twin pregnancy. Maybe I'll do like another video with that. I just want to talk about overcoming all like the pressure, the overwhelmingness, because there are all kinds of opinions about pregnancy. And like I said at the start, people will be literally in the same breath, either in person talking to you, or you'll read this like long, this is my favorite. I would read this like long post by someone, or this long article by someone that was using like very like absolute statements. You have to do this. You can't do this. I can't believe that other people ever even tried to do this. This is the only way to do it. And then it ends with, and remember, you know what's best for you and your baby. Wait, what? So like, do I get to make the decision, or do I have to do it exactly the way that you're saying? And so that's like a whole nother even thing to pull apart. But that is like the first. If you are pregnant, or you have a friend that is pregnant, or you know someone that will one day be pregnant, that is the thing that you need to, number one, first thing you need to know is when people start speaking in absolutes about anything really, but especially about pregnancy, just like take what they're saying. Don't totally disregard what they're saying, but just take it with like a grain of salt. And sometimes we speak in absolutes without realizing it, but with pregnancy, it's just really good to be aware of it. When I say like an absolute, if you're like, I don't really know what that means. So like someone would be speaking in absolutes specifically about pregnancy. If they're like, you know, you have to breastfeed. Like that is 100%, you have to breastfeed. If you don't breastfeed, then your baby is not going to get all the nutrients that they need, and they're probably going to grow up one day and they're probably going to hate you. So you have to breastfeed. What? Like, no, there are so many factors there that go into a child growing up and having a fractured relationship with their parents. So many. So when people start speaking in absolutes, it's like, okay, let's just take a break and let's take a pause and let's consider, you know, what's actually being said here? What can I actually count on? So don't speak in absolutes if you can help it when you're talking to someone that's pregnant. And if you are pregnant, just remember that like people a lot of times talk about what worked for them, and they forget that other people have different circumstances, and like they don't even realize, you know, what is going on with them. And so someone who, for example, exclusively breastfed, like they had to either be staying at home, or they had to have a job that allowed them to pump the whole time that they needed to. Their job probably wasn't super far from where they lived. There's just so many factors, right, that go into the ability to do that just not everyone can do. And so I think don't feel overwhelmed by people speaking in absolutes and telling you that you have to do this, or your baby, like, listen to what your doctor says. And not even then, because obviously, like, I'm not giving medical advice by any means, but also, like, as a Christian, use discernment. And so pray and ask the Lord to, like, show you, you know, the recommendations that your doctor is giving you, and ask him and test that, you know. Just, I don't know, don't feel overwhelmed by that. And so that's one of the things about pregnancy. Don't be overwhelmed by the pressure of like people saying that. Another thing about it that can help you kind of overcome the pressure, I think, a little bit, is whenever I was pregnant, and I might talk about this more, like the twin pregnancy specifically, but I didn't wait until things were like, to like take a step back. Okay, I think that sometimes, like in pregnancy specifically, we like see on social media, we do this in all of life, but especially in pregnancy, I think we see other people posting stuff on social media about their pregnancy and like what they're able to do. And then we're like, you know, laying on the couch, exhausted from getting a drink of water. And we're like, how are they doing that? I should be doing more. I should be able to handle this, you know? And we're forgetting that like potentially they did that and it took them a week to recover. Like they, you know, they didn't do anything else the rest of the day. Or maybe their bodies just like handled it better. That's okay too, right? Don't compare. And so my point with that is I didn't try to like, you know, the phrase like keep up with the Joneses, like just do what everyone else did while they were pregnant. I really asked the Lord to help me just like see and do what do I need to do for my body and for these babies, and just Holy Spirit show me immediately whenever I'm starting to like compare myself to other people, or I'm starting to just get like annoyed by what in the world, like why can't I do what everyone else is doing? Well, you're pregnant with twins, for one. That's probably a good reason why. But so just, I don't know, don't compare yourself. I don't know if this is making sense, but don't compare yourself, and like don't wait until it gets to a point where you're like, I just can't handle this anymore. Like if ever in your life there is a time to like the moment you start to feel overwhelmed about something or a little bit stressed, pregnancy is the time to like be aware of that and make a change immediately. Like I stopped working way before I had planned on working because I was just like, you have to think, here's my advice. Because you're asking. Well, you kind of are because you're here, but I don't know. I'm also really good at giving unsolicited advice. So in all of life, I try to make a lot of like hard decisions. I've got like something on my screen. By saying, in 10 years, what am I gonna look back and wish that I did? And my family's gone through like a lot. We've just had a lot of like hard stuff kind of happen. Not necessarily like to me personally, like I haven't had any illness or anything, but just in my family, we've just had a lot of hard things happen and loss happen. And it's really, I think, helped. Honestly, the Lord in some ways has used it to help me just have like a better eternal perspective, and even not just eternal like kingdom perspective, but even like in life when I'm, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what am I gonna look back on this season and wish that I did? Okay, I'm gonna do that. And so that is a great way to approach pregnancy. So what are you gonna look back and wish that you did? Like one day you're gonna be done having kids. You're not gonna be able to get pregnant anymore. You're not gonna want, it's not gonna be like a thing that your family's gonna do. So one day you're not gonna be pregnant anymore. And so looking back, what are you gonna wish that you did? And what are you gonna like wish that you did for your baby? Like how do you want to I want to be careful how I word this, but I just wanted to, and again, there are so many factors outside of your control as a mom. And there are certain things that moms to be that are pregnant can do to help make sure that their babies are developing fully, like prenatal care, taking prenatal vitamins, eating healthy, not smoking, not drinking, there are things that we can do. And so I try to filter both of those, like what do I wish I would have done and how can I position my baby best for the future. So you have to think long term a little bit and just remember that this is a season, okay? I'm gonna go to that in just a second, but I just want to say on this, I stopped working before because I just wanted to, if my babies came early with 2 babies, it's a high risk technically. And I just I wanted to, and you can't fully live like this, and this is gonna sound kind of cheesy, but I didn't have no regrets. Do y'all remember when that I don't know, there was this thing going around where someone got no regrets tattooed on their chest or back or something, but they spelled it regrets, R-A-G, instead of regrets. Anyway, I just didn't want to have any regrets. I didn't want to think about, well, what if I would have done this differently? And so if my babies came early, which happens, and there are a lot of reasons it happens that are outside of the mom's control, but I just didn't want to push myself. I didn't want to push I would not well, my baby came earlier, my babies, 2 2 babies. My babies came earlier than I wanted, but or I hope that they would. But I got that last week of work in. Like, that's not, 10 years from now, even a year from now. I would have rather have thought like, okay, I don't know if it helped keep my babies in or not, but I'm really glad I took off work when I did. You see what I mean? Like, you see the thought process there? You can apply that to different things of life too. But the only other thing that I want to say about just like not being overwhelmed in this season is it is a season. When you are pregnant, it is just a season, and it is a really hard season. And some people can do it in a way that's very like, make it look so easy, and they're happy literally all the time, and they never have to retreat. They can always be around people. But they're the anomalies. Like, most people in pregnancy feel how you feel. They feel like trash. It's exhausting, and it's really hard work. And you think, oh my gosh, I can't do the next 18 years like this. If it's your first pregnancy, you're like, is this parenthood? And like, being a mom is exhausting. The first 3 months are literally the hardest thing I've ever done. I've having twin babies, but it really does, like, your energy levels return. You're tired, but you're not like pregnancy tired. And so you're not gonna be, at least I wasn't, like, it's just a season. I remember watching people on TV, like watching football games when I was pregnant, because I was very like into my pregnancy during football season, and watching people in the stands and just being amazed, like, whoa, how do they have so much energy? Like, did I ever have that much energy? Will I ever have that much energy again? Like, these were thoughts in my head, and I just had to ask the Holy Spirit to remind me, like, yes, you used to have that much energy. You will have sort of that much energy again, and it's just worth it. It really is. People say that all the time, but it really is so worth it. So hopefully that was helpful. Some of those things were helpful. It's all I tried to make it practical, but a little bit conceptual as well. So hopefully that was helpful. I talk about Christianity and marriage and family on my channel. So if you're new, welcome. So glad you're here. Would love for you to like and subscribe if any of those things seemed interesting. I'll be doing a few more baby-focused things while my babies are babies, but I'm also talking about idols and repenting of idols right now, and we'll just continue to talk about other things in Christianity. So like and subscribe. And if you're pregnant, tell me, how far along are you? I want to pray for you. Have a good day. Bye.